Tuesday. It's a very, very cold Tuesday. Move to the sea, they said. It will be fun by the sea, they said. It will be lovely by the sea. It is, when the sun shines. Yesterday was a smidgy bit warmer, yeah, but today, no, it's cold. In fact, the heating is set quite low, you know, economising as usual, and it's actually come on, so that's showing that it is cold. I'm wearing the sweater, well, the cardigan that I finally finished. I decided to sew navy blue buttons on it. They don't quite match, but I could not match this sort of rusty colour anywhere. And it was either wooden buttons or navy blue. There is actually navy blue in the stripy bit there. Can't see it very well, but it is. And I'm wearing my wooden beads today. And there is, like, that colour, imitation, whatever, that kind of matches you. Just had a little bit of disappointing news. I had to ring my scooter man because when you start a new contract they give you a PIN number. So the PIN number arrived this morning. So I rings him to tell him the PIN number because I can't get the scooter without the PIN number. Complicated, I know, but that's the way it is. Anyway, I rang him and he said, your scooter hasn't arrived yet, hasn't been delivered yet. And I'm going, oh, so I'm not going to get it tomorrow then? He said, there's still hope. I didn't like the way he said that, there's still hope. He said it might get delivered later today or it may get delivered tomorrow. And if it does, then I will try and get it to you for Thursday morning. So, looks like no go. So sorry all the people who had their fingers crossed for me. It's not looking very hopeful for tomorrow. So I am hoping that I do get it before the end of the week. It always happens to me. It just, whatever it is that's supposed to happen, never does. Like I got an eye appointment, only for the review of that bleed I had behind my eye. Gets that, agrees to it. 2 days later, another message comes, we've cancelled it. I thought, nah. When I had my spinal op, they cancelled it 3 times and they were about to cancel it 4 times. And twice I was actually outside the theatre when they cancelled me. And they were trying to cancel me on the 4th time and I went, no, I am not leaving this hospital until you do the operation. I said, everybody else who's on the list for today, have they been cancelled 3 times already? I don't know, I'll go. I said, can I see the surgeon then? Can I see him? So he came in and I said, can you tell me that everybody on the list for today has been waiting as long as I have? Bear in mind, I've been waiting about 3 years for this operation. Has been cancelled 3 times before. And he went, oh, I wasn't aware that you'd been cancelled 3 times before. Leave it with me. Anyway, he came back and he said, good news, we've cancelled somebody else. So sorry for the other person who got cancelled, but it did mean that on the 4th go, I did finally get my spinal operation. And it was a good job because my spine was on the point of altogether. But that's just what happens to me. I mean, my tonsil operation was cancelled twice, I think, before I got it on the 3rd go. Everything I ever... Oh, my eye operation got cancelled twice, I think. The first eye got cancelled once, the second eye got cancelled once. It just... My name must have cancel written all over it. You know. And it's never me that cancels, you know. It's always them for some reason or another. So I'm hoping, well, it doesn't seem to be working now. I've moved. I'm under a different hospital system altogether. And yet I still get cancelled, yeah. Although I did get told off because of a CPAP machine. They said to me, you have missed 2 appointments. I said, no, I haven't had any letters. Oh, we'll put you on the automatic, you know, that you get the message on your phone. So thankfully now I've not missed any more. And I just didn't get the letters. And yet the other mail was arriving, so I don't know, you know, where those 2 letters went to. But I was speaking to some other local people and they went, oh yeah, Blackpool Vic are notorious for saying they've sent letters out and we never get them, yeah. So anyway, I did get some mail today, what I bought. I bought it off eBay, second hand, very cheap. And it came still in its Marks and Spencer's thing. Isn't it lovely? It would actually go lovely with what I'm actually wearing today. But I thought I would show it to you first, yeah. You know me and my necklaces. I just love my necklaces. But this was M&S, and they have taken off the actual price. But I'm sure it was one heck of a lot more than the £3 I paid for it. Well, £3 plus postage. But that's all I paid for it. And if it was Marks and Spencer's, you can bet it was about £20 when it was new. Perhaps it was a gift and she didn't like it. Her loss is my gain, yes. I've just been on Tracy Crochet Rocks Live. She's crocheting Gary's blanket. Apparently it's been lingering in her. Well, she's decided to call it a yarnavan, not a caravan or a she shed. She's calling it a yarnavan. So this blanket she's been making for her other half has been languishing in a bag. This is why I don't like works in progress, because they languish in a bag and you forget about them, yeah. And everybody's been saying, Gary's blanket to her, Gary's blanket to her. Anyway, she's now doing a live where she's actually crocheting Gary's blanket. I've just been on there with her briefly, but I need to go to the post office, so, you know, I've had to do that. I've parcelled up some things that I had. I've still got a few cakes still on eBay if you want to have a look. I don't mean cakes to eat, I mean cotton mix cakes, yeah. You know, the kind with the four different colours. Still got some of them. Crochet Lady 0161 on eBay if you want to know any more. But two lots of them have been sold. I still haven't gone into the shed to sort out any more of my yarn because it's too flipping cold, you know. And as I said before, I keep forgetting to go out half an hour before and put the heating on. Because, you know, in this day and age you can't afford to have heating churning away in an empty shed, can you? Still, it'll soon be spring. Is it spring already? I think technically, actually, it is spring already. I'm waiting for summer. I did do a bit more. Well, they're going to be squares, but I know they're round at the moment, so don't, you know, quote me on that, but they are going to be square. I'm doing all 6 at the moment, and that's what I've got so far. They are working out quite small. I must be a much tighter crocheter than Katie Jones, who's done the pattern. It's a Frida Kahlo poncho. If you don't know what I'm doing, if you go back a couple of videos, you'll know. But when it turns into a square, I'm just hoping maybe I can put a couple more rounds, you know? Rounds. How can you do rounds round a square? Well, you know what I mean. A couple more rows round the square to make it big enough. Because I think she's got a measurement for the finished square. There's 6 squares, by the way, that make up the poncho. So I'm doing all 6 at once, rather than doing one whole one. Because I don't like keep reaching the colours out and then having to break off and then reach another colour out. So I reach a colour out and then I do 6. So I've got like 6 all at the same stage. So whether I will wear it, it's very bright. I know I like bright colours, but it's very bright, isn't it? So whether I will actually wear it remains to be seen. It may finish up trying to be sold, but it's taking so many colours, you know, that I've had to buy 100-gram balls of, that it would be quite expensive just for the raw materials, if you know what I mean. But I suppose if somebody liked it enough, and I didn't, they might make me an offer. But I can't refuse. So keep your eye out. If you're liking it, you know, keep your eye out. If I don't wear it, I will be trying to sell it, yeah. I'm still trying to post off the sweater, cardigan, jacket, granny square jacket to Canada. But so far, it's still no go. You know, it's been like 4, almost 5 weeks now. You think they would have sorted out the mail by now. Anyway, I am going up to the post office with these 2 little parcels, as I said. So I'm going to inquire whether I can. I haven't charged my lady for it because I wouldn't take any money from her because I don't know when I can post it. So I didn't think it was fair to like get her to pay me weeks ago and sit on the money and I can't send it to her because, you know. So hopefully when I can give her news, she'll send me the money and then I will send it off to her. Yeah. Oh dear. I've just had a lady come on who's viewed one of my very, very, very old videos. And it was when Claire, who used to be Bob Wilson 123, she's now Crochet with Claire, visited me. So there was me, there was Kelly, there was Zoe, who was 24 carat crochet, all sitting on the sofa, all having a bit of a gib-gab. So she'd watched it out of nowhere. And then she'd also watched another video where I was telling her the fact that when my son was a baby and he was in his pram, I actually forgot him. And I left him outside the butcher's. And then when I got home, I thought, well, where's Ian? So I went running back up to the shop. And the butcher said, I've been keeping my eye on him. I knew who he was because I used to go regularly in the butcher's, so he knew me. He said, I've been keeping an eye on him. He's been fine. He's been asleep. He said, if he'd have woken up, I'd have gone and diddled the pram, you know. He said, he's been fine, he's fine. So I did. And I also left him outside the paper shop once, yeah. I didn't usually used to take him to the paper shop with me because I only went to pay the papers, you know, when there used to be deliveries in those days. We used to have a paper delivered. So on a Sunday morning, I used to go up and I used to collect my Sunday papers and pay. And normally I would leave my baby home with my ex-husband. Well, he wasn't my ex-husband at the time, but you know what I mean, I'd leave him at home. But this particular day, I think he'd gone out, he'd gone playing football or something, so I had to take him with me, of course, because I wouldn't leave him in the house on his own. So I took him up to the paper shop, parked him outside, went to pay my papers, came out and went home. Then when I got home, I thought, where's Ian? And I thought, oh, blimey, I took him with me. In those days I could run like the clappers to get him outside the paper shop. Thankfully he wasn't bothered. He was just happily watching everybody go by. I was such a rubbish mother, honestly. Yeah, I think it's the only 2 times I've forgotten him, yeah. But, you know, I've heard other people forget them as well, so I don't feel too bad about it. Anyway, I'm going to go up to the post office on my old loaned scooter. I want to cry, but I won't. I'm a big girl now. I'm a brave girl now. I won't cry now. No. I can hear little feet above. That'll be Rosie and Trixie. Oh, Rosie went for a 5-kilometre run. The dog's behaviouralist, we were having a few issues with her being a bit naughty. And they said that she had too much pent-up energy, that she wasn't getting rid of it. So my son bought a gizmo that fastens onto his pushback, you know, so that the lead keeps the lead away from the wheels, if you know what I mean. So when she runs, she has to run alongside and she can't get, you know, close to the bike. Anyway, he took her for a 5-kilometre run, thinking, tire her out, she'll sleep. No, it had the reverse. It energised her and she was bouncing round the house like, bump, bump, like Tigger on springs. So I think he's going to have to take her for a 10-kilometre run next time, because obviously 5 kilometres is not enough. I tell you, that girl, she has so much energy, that little dog, yeah. Yeah. My cousin's just posted on Facebook that they're adopting a little, well, it's a Yorkshire Terrier mix, I think, or a Jack Russell mix. She's adopted a rescue dog. So she's been to see him twice and she's going to bring him home, hopefully Saturday, if all the adoption goes well. So it's nice to know that another little dog is being taken out of rescue. Yeah. Rosie's a rescue. At the time, because of COVID, we could not get one in the UK. We could get an elderly dog, which we didn't want, because we didn't want one that may have issues, because at the time we had the little ones. We've got like 3 under 6, you know, well, they were under 5 at the time. And, you know, an older dog, we wanted one that was young so that we could train it not to nip at the kids and things like that. Could we get a sort of puppy young dog in the UK? No. Filled in all the paperwork for 3 or 4 rescue centres, sent them videos of the garden to make sure it's enclosed. We told them we already had a dog, we'd had dogs for years, we'd been dog owners, responsible dog owners for years. Filled in reams and reams and reams of paperwork. No, couldn't have one. So eventually we had to turn to abroad. So we actually rescued Rosie from Romania, yeah. I mean, we would have rescued a dog from the UK. There's loads of them that need to be rescued. If you're in the market, you know, please rescue a dog. Don't buy a pedigree. Don't give some breeder £600, £1,000, even £2,000. There are plenty of beautiful dogs in rescue. You know, please. Or a cat. If you're a cat person, you can adopt a cat. I think they even have rabbits and guinea pigs and stuff like that. You know, you could have anything like that. I mean, I've always had a cat, but obviously with Rosie chases cats. Sadly, unfortunately, she's got a bit of lurcher in her. We don't know what she is, obviously, because she's a Heinz 57 variety mutt, street dog from Romania. So she's got a bit of lurcher in her, because she's that sleek, you know, kind of lurcher shape. And she chases anything that moves. When it's, I don't mean another dog, she plays with other dogs, but she's the bane of the cat next door's life, yeah. It only has to sniff over the garden fence and whoosh, she's there. But what surprised me was last summer there was actually a squirrel sitting on the fence and she took no notice of it. But it was stationary at the time because I was beginning to wonder if it was poorly or whether it was just, well, it wouldn't have been dead because it would have fell off the fence, wouldn't it? But I was beginning to wonder if it was ill, because I was sitting out in the garden. It was summer and it was warm. I have a very long memory. And it was sitting on the fence, not moving. And she just ignored it. I think it was because it didn't move. Anyway, eventually, it must have been having a sleep or something. Eventually it turned itself around and went back into the trees. So, but Rosie took absolutely no notice whatsoever of the squirrel, which really surprised me. Because if a bird lands in the garden, she goes potty. My daughter-in-law used to feed the birds. We got a bird feeder. It used to be like Alfred Hitchcock. You know, all these birds came from everywhere. But she no longer seems to be doing that, you know. I think, I mean, these doors behind here, they used to go to the outside. These used to be outside doors before we built this conservatory. So my bedroom was along there. There's my bedroom there. No, there's my bedroom at the end, yeah. So it used to be very, very noisy for me when she used to feed the birds and they'd like come down in hordes. And I used to think, what on earth? It's like, they used to come out from no place. They were little starving things, little things, you know. But then the seagulls used to come and scare everything away. So I don't know why she stopped feeding the birds, unless it's because it drives Rosie potty, I don't know. I don't know about the little one, because she just copies, the French bulldog, she just copies everything that Rosie does, so. But she's got a funny little yip, 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 yip. But she can make such a noise when she wants to. We call it like the Malamute howl. So say she's such a little thing, man, she's solid. Say she's such a little thing, she's got this howl. You know, when she starts this howl, you're thinking, where is that coming from for such a little thing? It's deep-throated howl. But by and by, Marge, she just really does a little yip, yip, yip. That's all she does. Anyway, I didn't really have an awful lot to tell you, really, considering that I've spoken for quite a while, haven't I? But I am going to go to the post office now. I'm going to brave the cold and go to the post office and post my 2 parcels. So don't forget, if you're in the market for some cotton cakes, I will put the link down below. There are still quite a few, and I have reduced them to £3.50, which isn't bad considering there's 200 grams and there's, I think, 800 metres on each ball, which isn't bad, is it? I mean, I've made shawls with them on a, you know, on a big hook. You have to make them lacy. I've made a whole shawl with one ball. So when you consider, I'm asking £3.50 plus the postage, which sadly it is £3 something for the postage. But even so, you know, when I see them advertised, like, I mean, mine are brand new really, it's just that I've had them, I put used on them, but they're not used at all. I've not nipped into or anything like that. But I had to put used because they're not, I suppose I could have put brand new, because I haven't used them. But just to be on the safe side, you know, to, you know, standards and all that stuff, I did put used on them. But there's still a lot left. So if you want to make yourself a shawl, you can make yourself a shawl for £6 something. Which I'm sure if you went in the shed, you can come in my shed if you want. If you live in Fleetwood, come in my shed, please. But you could, if you went in the shop, I'm sure you would pay a lot more than £6 something for 800 grams. So as I say, sadly, if you're in the US, I can't post out at the moment. Look, we can't post anything out abroad at the minute because this stupid Royal Mail situation. And I refuse to pay DHL and stuff like that because it would cost me, I think, just shy of £18 to post this jacket Royal Mail. But it was about 30 something if I'd have posted it DHL. And I thought, I don't think my lady wants to pay so much postage, so that's why I didn't, you know, even ask her. Yeah. So this is why I am not posting these cotton cakes out to the US, because I just can't at the minute, you know. Not being mean, I'm not being awful, I just can't, you know. So, we shall see. Anyway, I am going to go, and I was going to make a video tomorrow showing you my new scooter. But it doesn't look as though that's going to happen. Please keep your fingers crossed for Thursday or Friday. I've given up asking you to keep your fingers crossed for Wednesday. So, we shall see what happens next. Watch this space.